Ready? Go!
If you've seen the list of balance changes for the new 3.1 patch, then you know there's a lot to take in here. I'm gonna try to do my best to summarize these patch notes, go over the biggest changes, the big winners and losers of the patch, and cover some of the changes that weren't actually mentioned in the patch notes. But first... So the month 3 tier list covered the month of February, and then for March I decided I didn't really want to do one because I had done 3 already, the trend had kind of died out, and I didn't really want to be known as the tier list guy. Then April rolls around and we get a balance patch right smack dab in the middle of the month. So even if I wanted to do another tier list video, I couldn't. April had 2 weeks on one patch and 2 weeks on another, so it made no sense to do a tier list for either. So then I decided I'll wait for May to pass, then people will have had the last 2 weeks of April to get used to the new patch, and then the month of May would be a great opportunity to see which characters were coming out on top. But now we just got another patch, so even if I did do a tier list for the month of May, none of that information would even matter anymore because of this 3.1 balance patch. So let me know in the comments if in a month from now you'd like to see a tier list for the month of June. I'm pretty sure the amazing Covert Ghoul is still gathering and organizing the tournament data that my videos are based on, so you can always hit him up on Twitter for the data yourself if you're interested. And now, let's talk about the brand new 3.1.0 balance patch. The first thing we can summarize is a few of the somewhat universal changes. The first change only applies to characters with the ability to wall jump. Now, after wall jumping, the time you'll need to wait before wall jumping again in the same direction is longer. This change isn't too significant, but I guess it's going to prevent some annoying stalling tactics, so I'd say it's pretty good. The next somewhat universal change was to basic jabs. In version 3.0, it was easier for characters to fall out of jab combos before the final hit, so hopefully this 3.1 patch will fix that. The characters that received this little buff are as follows. Other multi-hit moves also have been given a slight buff to make them connect more consistently. These moves are as follows. Now, before we get into character-specific buffs, I just want to quickly list off the characters that didn't receive any specific changes to their moves whatsoever. With such a long list of patch notes, I figured it would be useful to know which characters you don't have to worry about. I'll throw up a little image on screen so that you can save a screenshot or something. So I was going to divide this next section of the video up by buffs and nerfs, but since some characters got both, I'm just going to go through the notes and give you a quick summary of what happened to each character, excluding the somewhat universal changes we already went through. DK now has his super armor for a little bit longer when he uses a fully charged neutral special. Pikachu now has a longer grab range. Luigi's Zair got a slight range buff, but it's still pretty terrible, and the invincible cyclone glitch was also patched out. I wouldn't really call it a nerf though, more so just a necessary fix. Captain Falcon got a knockback growth increase to his forward tilt and back air. His knee sweet spot was made bigger so it's easier to hit. Up tilt and side special have faster startup, and side special also got a super armor durability buff as well as a hit stun increase. And finally, down special now has more active hitbox frames both on the ground and in the air. Peach and Daisy got nerfs as well as buffs, but they both received equal treatment. Aside from the jabs and up special being more consistent, the only other buff was to the knockback to the golf club forward smash. Side special got a 6 frame increase on the end lag after it hit something, forward air got a slight nerf to its knockback growth, down special got 3 more frames of ending lag, and back throw got its knockback growth reduced as well as its collateral damage knockback growth. Ice climbers now recover mid-air jumps the same way as other fighters, and to be honest, I have no clue what that means. If you have any idea, please let everyone know in the comments. The other change they got is that the secondary ice climber can no longer jump right after the primary ice climber gets a grab. Obviously, I'm no ice climber expert, but if I had to guess, I'd say this change probably gets rid of a ton of their decent combos, which could be a huge nerf. Again, if you've got that ice climber knowledge, let everyone know how significant these changes are in the comments below. Pichu got a ton of nerfs, so let's start with all the moves that got an increase on their recoil damage. Forward tilt, forward smash, down smash, back air, forward air, down air, neutral special, up special, down special, and forward throw. In addition to all that, the knockback growth on forward tilt got a huge nerf. The end lag on forward smash got a 4 frame increase, and Pichu's overall hurt box was made bigger. However, they did increase the size of Pichu's shield, so he got that 1 buff. Lucina got a knockback growth reduction on both her forward air and her forward smash. Dark Pit's side special had its end lag reduced on aerial hits, and as I mentioned earlier, both of the pits got a nice little buff to their up smash, making it hit more consistently. Zero Suit Samus can now travel further left or right after using down special, and her side special also got that hit consistency buff. Diddy Kong received a launch angle adjustment to his dash attack, which is a huge buff because now it connects a lot more consistently into his aerials. Like down air for example, that also got a buff to its startup speed. Up air was also made faster overall and got a 4 frame landing lag reduction. Up smash got a knockback growth increase to the last hit, and now the first hits also connect more reliably. Neutral special now charges faster, the misfire explosion starts up faster, and the peanuts do more damage against opponents who aren't shielding. Lastly, his up special got a huge buff, reducing his fall speed while charging the move and increasing the distance that he travels after charging. For those who care about Final Smash changes, Diddy Kong's Final Smash got a damage increase to the explosion and the jet at the start, decreased damage when Diddy collides with an enemy, and now it's slightly harder for low percent enemies to get launched from the final hit. Olimar got a bunch of nerfs, the first being an increase to the size of his hurt box around his helmet. The early hitbox of forward smash now has 2 less active frames, and overall the move lasts 3 frames longer. Up smash also lasts 3 frames longer, which now actually makes it punishable on shield. And lastly, Olimar got a huge nerf to the flight time on his up special if you use it repeatedly, similar to Villager's recovery. Lucario got a buff to all 3 of his jabs, making them a few frames faster. His dash attack hitbox got a size buff, forward tilt got a knockback increase, up air and forward smash got buffs to the size of their sweet spots, neutral air is now more likely to hit grounded opponents, and side special got a grab range buff, and now opponents can no longer run through Lucario upon the move's startup. In addition to all that, Lucario's neutral special doesn't push enemies back as much when charging it, so now you can rack up damage more consistently, and the fully charged Aura Sphere now travels farther, and you can now release the fully charged Aura Sphere 5 frames faster. Rob's Jab 1 now links more consistently into his Jab 2, and Jab 2 has a bigger hitbox. Wolf got the same dab buffs as Rob, as well as a hitbox placement adjustment for Jab 3. The first hit of down smash got a base knockback reduction and a buff to the knockback growth. Now despite Wolf's up special linking more reliably now, the final hit got a hitbox size reduction and the launch angle also got an adjustment. Neutral special also got a slight nerf with 3 frames more end lag. However, down special, the Shine, now comes out 1 frame sooner, the invincibility frames start 1 frame sooner, and it can reflect projectiles 1 frame earlier as well. Rosalina and Luma got quite a few buffs and 1 nerf. That nerf is a 12 HP decrease to Luma in 1v1s and a 10 HP decrease in free-for-alls or team battles. As for the buffs, Luma now respawns 1 second sooner in 1v1s and 2 seconds sooner in free-for-alls or team battles. Rosalina's grab now comes out 1 frame faster, and Luma's dash attack and down special were made faster so that they both match Rosalina's. Forward smash has increased knockback when both Rosa and Luma get the hit, and forward air has less end lag and all of the hits link more reliably, and the ledge lockout timer was reduced. Lastly, Rosalina's up special got a buff to the fast fall speed, so now she can reach the stage or the ledge a little faster. Little Mac got frame buffs to his first 2 jabs and a hitbox size buff to jab 2 and 3. Forward tilt now gets both hits more reliably on airborne opponents, down tilt has a larger hitbox, the super armor on up smash got a 2 frame buff, and down special got a 6 frame reduction to its end lag. Neutral special also got a 5 frame lag reduction when used on the ground and not fully charged, and the KO punch got a 20 frame end lag reduction. Bowser Jr.'s dash attack got a knockback angle adjustment so that he can't get any follow-ups at all anymore, however he did get a few buffs. Up tilt was made 2 frames faster, and up smash got a buff to its knockback growth. Neutral special got a 6 frame buff to its startup, the move is faster overall, and the air speed got a buff to now match the ground speed. Side special had its speed threshold made larger when grounded, and its damage is based on its speed, so now it can deal more damage when used on the ground. Last but definitely not least, the up special explosion got a knockback angle adjustment, and the hammer also got a hitbox buff and a buff to the active frames of both the backwards and forwards hits. Ken and Ryu got a ton of changes, and not all of them are the exact same for both characters, so I'm just gonna quickly summarize the whole thing, and if you want to see all of the details, I'll put the Smashboards link in the video description below. Jab 1 and Jab 2 now have a longer window where you can cancel it into a special move, as well as forward tilt at close range. At long range, forward tilt has an increased hitbox size at the tip. Heavy jab got a knockback angle adjustment, same with up tilt when hitting airborne opponents. Light down tilt got a hit stun buff, and heavy down tilt got a knockback nerf. Side special now has a bigger hitbox on the first hit when used on the ground, and Ryu's up air got a buff to its hitbox size and active frames. Here's where we start getting into the more character specific changes with neutral special, up special, and side special. So again, I recommend checking out the Smashboards link for the full details. Bayonetta got a bunch of buffs all around, and weirdly enough, I know that's gonna make a bunch of people happy and a bunch of people sad. Jab 1 and down smash have 1 more active frame, rapid jab's final hit has more knockback growth, dash attack got a knockback growth buff on the sweet spot hit, both hits of up tilt now link more consistently, up and side special have less landing lag when used in the air, and Bayonetta's counter is now active for 6 more frames, and the recovery speed of the witch time duration was given a little buff for those players who spam it. King K. Rool can now grab the ledge sooner after using up air, and that's it. Isabelle got some changes made to her side special, which basically undid all the changes that patch 3.0 made, so she pretty much just has patch 2.0 side special now. And the last character on the list that wasn't already covered in the universal changes, Piranha Plant. The plant got a hitbox size buff to jab 3 and an increase to the amount of time that enemies are stuck in the rapid jabs. If you're wondering why I skipped over some characters that are listed in the patch notes, it's because their only adjustment was that pseudo-universal change where moves just work more consistently. Now who got nerfed the hardest? Well, I think that comes down to your own personal opinion, but in my opinion, I'd say Pichu, Olimar, Peach and Daisy, and the Ice Climbers. Pichu is going to be doing recoil damage to himself much faster now and getting killed a lot earlier because of it, and the forward tilt nerf is actually pretty huge. Olimar's nerfs to his forward smash and up smash are pretty big, as well as the recovery nerf, and all of that combined with the hurtbox nerf is just really bad news for Olimar players. Peach and Daisy did get a couple of buffs, but I think their nerfs are way more significant. Both side special and forward air got a nerf, which I'm actually really happy about because the other night I had a Peach player using that side special forward air combo on me, and I literally couldn't challenge the forward air with anything. I just had to shield or dodge both of the moves and reset to neutral, which was super annoying. Down special got a slight nerf so it's not as fast, and back throw got a pretty significant nerf in my opinion. Lastly on my list of biggest losers is the ice climbers. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not too sure what it means by them recovering their mid-air jumps the same as other fighters, but I'm sure the other adjustments is definitely gonna kill some of their crazy throw combos. As for the biggest winners of patch 3.1, in my opinion they would be Captain Falcon and Diddy Kong. Honorable mentions would probably go to Rosalina, Lucario, and maybe even Pikachu. All Pikachu got is a grab range increase, but to be honest, that's pretty huge, and with all the Pichu nerfs, Pikachu is now undoubtedly the better Chew. So the Pichu nerfs are kind of like an indirect buff to Pikachu. Captain Falcon got some well-deserved speed and power buffs to a few of his key moves, and the Holy Knee of Justice got a sweet spot buff. But Diddy Kong, holy crap, did Diddy Kong ever win this balance patch? He got massive recovery buffs, his projectile was made better, his aerials got buffed, and his dash attack got a buff, allowing it to connect more easily into his buffed aerials. There were also a few changes that weren't listed in the patch notes. Mii Brawler had their fall speed and fast fall speed decreased, and because of that, forward air can now auto-cancel from a short hop. Little Max jabs don't actually have less end lag unless you manually input each jab. Kirby can no longer do a sliding Pikmin pluck with Olimar's copy ability. Bowser Jr.'s clown car bouncing hitbox was fixed. Spawn points and respawn points on some of the stages were adjusted to be more centered. And lastly, held item attacks were patched out. Sorry Beefy Smash dudes. For other changes, you can now use the Toy-Con VR mode, use amiibos in online battle arenas, and have them go on a journey to train online, and the preferred rules settings for quick play have also been adjusted. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this patch, and in my opinion, I don't think anything was undeserved or too heavy-handed. There's a ton of characters in this game, so I'm sure if I thought about it hard enough, I could probably find a few characters with things I would have liked to see adjusted, but this patch gives me a lot of hope for the future balance patches. There was actually so many changes done, and a lot of the changes I'm happy with and feel were well deserved. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you'd like to see a tier list video for the month of June using patch 3.1.0, let me know in the comments. If there are any important balance changes that I missed or didn't explain correctly, definitely mention it in the comments for everyone to see as well. As always, you can click either of the videos on screen for more of my Smash content, click subscribe if you haven't yet, turn on that notification bell, and as always, thanks for watching all the way until the end. Happy smashing!